Dum dum, dum dum. Hey, AI in action. Let's go. AI in action. Woo. Let's go. AI in action. Woo. Woo. AI in action. AI in action. Let's go. Work smart, not.
Hi, welcome back to AI in Action. So glad you're here. Now, today we're not just learning a tool, we're building your brain. Because if your AI doesn't sound like you, that's not an AI problem. That's a clarity problem. You're putting in human input, right? AI doesn't think like you until you teach it how to think like you. Okay? So you're putting in human input and expecting this perfect output, but you don't give it any structure. So we're going to fix that. We're definitely going to fix it. AI doesn't just think like you until you teach it how. And today we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Okay, so if you remember when all the different things that you need for a regular prompt, well, us creating your brain is like taking the prompt process and putting it on crack. It's like 10 times better. Okay. So a prompt tells AI what to do one time, but your brain teaches it how to think all the time, always. Okay. Prompt is a one-time deal. Brain, continuous. Just think about that. It's a continuous flow, continuous flow, continuous flow. So we're not writing better prompts. We're building a system so that whatever you put in, whatever question you ask, whatever task you give it, it's going to just keep coming. It's going to keep producing. So if you look at the pictures here, you see the difference? Input, prompt, one task. Brain, when you input it, then it's constantly giving you output, constantly. Okay, so we are going to build your AI brain in 5 simple levels. Identity, who are you? Voice, how do you communicate? Audience, who do you serve? Needs, what you want done. Thinking, how problems get solved. Okay? Most people stay stuck here. That's not what I meant. That doesn't sound like me. But when your brain is built, you get clear output, less back and forth, results that actually sound like you. Okay, so let's look at this. If you put in a vague prompt, and it doesn't matter what your AI tool is, it could be ChatGPT, it could be Claude, it could be Perplexity, whatever. If you put something vague, I'm a teacher, you're going to get a very vague answer. But if you're a little bit more specific, I am a specific business and tech educator focusing on equipping adults learning with practical, important skills. Do you see how that's very specific? Now, I know some of this is going to be review, but for my people that are here for the first time and you kind of missed the other lessons, this is for you. This is like a review. Okay? We want to be as specific as possible when creating. So when you program your identity, you need to define yourself down to the littlest, minutest detail. Define exactly who you are, your domain expertise, and be very specific. Use a very specific lens, that you see your work. Okay, so I am and don't just say teacher. Example for me is I am a business marketing education teacher that specializes in creating curriculum, creating system, creating step-by-step processes. Do you hear the difference in the two. And this is just layer one, okay? Identity is layer one, okay? So after layer one, remember, we want clear output. We want less back and forth. We want the results that actually sound like us. So we have to be extremely specific, okay? So the next step is training your voice, okay? Remember, you're only building this one time. You're building it one time, okay? So my voice might be, and yes, some of this we discussed in basic when we did the little bitty charts where we either put candid, direct, those little things. But when we finish with this, we're going to actually create our own personal intelligent blueprint. Okay. So like I said, some of this is review. So I'm trying to get through this review part. Okay. So vague sounds nice and normal. That's how I want to sound nice and normal. That is so vague. When you're trying to program your voice, you need to list at least 3 specific adjectives that describe how you communicate, and it be explicitly stated on what AI should avoid. Okay, like instead of saying sound nice and sound normal, you might say use a warm, encouraging, and step-by-step tone. Avoid, hello, be explicitly in what you don't want. Avoid jargon. Speak like a supportive mentor. Okay? So the sentence that you might use, and yes, you can find this on the Notion link that's attached. The one that says train your brain steps. Okay? My voice, blank, and blank, and blank. Never use blank, 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 blank. Okay? All right. So the example here is use a warm, encouraging, and step-by-step tone. Avoid jargon. Avoid fluff. Speak like a supportive mentor. That's what I would do. That's what I would say. So layer 2 is your voice. How do you want to sound? Okay. Like I said, this is review. This is review until we get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay. So the next thing is layer 3, your audience. Who are you talking to? We cannot serve everybody. So first, identify the current state of the people you're trying to reach and the transformation they seek. Okay? Vague would be, I serve everyone. No, you don't. You have a very target audience. And this is where you're going to name your target audience. You need to be exact. I serve overwhelmed beginners who need highly structured and easily digestible guidance. Do you see how very specific I was? If you're learning right now, this is very specific. Okay? You got to be very specific. All right. So, what was the first layer? Let's go back if you forgot. Identity. Who are you? What was the second layer? Do you remember? Your voice. The next layer, third layer, is your audience. The fourth layer is you're going to program your needs. You want to give the AI a distinct job title and a primary operation focus. Hello. You want to give him an SOP, standard operating proceedings. Hello. You do not want to be vague. You don't want to just say, help me write. No. You want to make it, remember, it's got to be specific. So assign a clear role. I need you to act as my curriculum designer, creating structured lesson plans and module content. Hello. Do you see? Very structured. You got to be very explicit. Okay. So in your notes, you would write, I need you to act as to help me with, but like I said, be very specific on what you're doing. Do not keep it, don't say help me write. No ma'am, no sir. Okay? So the next layer, remember there's 5 layers, is the thinking layer. You got to program your AI to think. This is where you're going to establish the rules of engagement for how the AI approaches complex problems, okay? So please do not be vague. Do not say, give me the answer fast. No. Let's logically think of how you want the output to look. So a good example would be use step-by-step problem solving. Break complex text down. Outline the logic first and ask for approval before executing. Okay? So, in your notes, you will say, when solving problems, always think by blank and ensure you blank before giving me a final answer. And just in case you're like, well, this is a lot, Miss B, I don't know. Guess what? Ask Chatty to come up with your thinking process for you. Tell Chatty exactly the outcome that you want and how you want to get to that outcome. And then ask ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot, whoever you want to ask, whichever AI tool you want to use. Ask them to, okay, let's sharpen this. Let's make this a little bit tighter. Help me put this into a 1 or 2 sentences. And then boom, you have your thinking process. Okay. Next thing, once you have all of it together, your thinking, your needs, your audience, your voice, your identity, notice you need all of these to build your brain. You start with your identity. You go up to your voice, how you want to sound. You go to your audience, who you're talking to. You go to what you address the needs that you are meeting, and then you tell it how to think. Complex AI mastery is simply a sequence of highly specific interlocking choices. So once we create our brain, we put our brain to work. Okay? Most people stay stuck because they try to keep it, they don't realize you're not only the supervisor, you're the CEO, you're the marketing management, you're everything. But in order to get your AI to help you, you've got to give each thing, you got to give your brain a SOP, a standard operating system. Okay? You just got to get it. Procedures and operating systems, you just got to give it to it. Okay? So you only build this once. Okay? You're only going to build this once. Then every time you use your AI, no matter what tool it is, it's going to run through this lens. It's automatically going to do it once you build it. Okay? Now in the basic, I showed you how to put it in the settings. Now I'm going to go back and now we're going to expand that. I'm going to show you how to build it out. Okay? You are the architecture. Now, okay? So this is just a little demonstration. If you're generic and what your outcome is going to be, and if you customize your brain, the quality goes up. Okay? So remember last week, we did this. We activated our brain with the basic. We took and we increased the personalization section inside of our settings. Okay, remember? We opened the settings in the profile. We clicked on personalization because now everybody's doing personalization. They got a whole button for it. So you click on personalization. Then we went through the top half, which kind of gave us our voice. Hello. Then we put our custom instructions in, which is the brain, the system prompt. It's like the overview of the system prompt of this is what I want my AI to do. Okay. Then we went in and we pasted. We gave ourselves a nickname. We did the occupation. We did several different things. Okay. You only do this once. From now on, AI thinks through this specific lens on every single chat. Okay? Whether you do a project or whatever, it's going to think on this based on what you put in your settings. This is what we did last week. Okay? So you are the architect. AI doesn't think like you until you teach it how. Stop asking for answers. Start programming your brain. Now let's build this out. Okay? We're going to take this and we're going to actually build our personalization intelligent blueprint. All right? This was part 1. I'll see you in a minute for part 2.
AI in action, that's the mix. AI, 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 AI in action. AI in action. AI. Work smart, not hard. You ask, it answers. Then what? I make it better.